Hello and welcome to the 13th episode of the Oracle of Seasons Any Potential Speedrun tutorial, where it's time to explore the trick of Dungeon 7. This dungeon is known for mostly one thing only, and that is Poe skip, which is a pretty difficult trick, but mostly because it locks out the first half of the dungeon, so if you die there, you have to do this again. But let's talk more about that inside. So you want to make sure you have a lot of health. So if you are low on health, you can grab these 4 pots. They all contain hearts, which is really convenient. And continue on. You can use your seeds here. You want to make sure to have at least 1 seed left over, so you can do Poe skip. This is the Poe skip room. There are these storages that go out one after another, and you want to make sure you exit the room before they all go out and you get warped back to the entrance. And here are 3 normal wish ropes and a blue wish rope. You want to kill them all and spawn this chest. And then go back. You have your seeds. You want to blow up this wall and exit again so you don't get caught. You can also do this on the way here, where you come in, you grab a bomb, and you throw it over there and run across to the right, which is usually more convenient. So once you did that, you want to enter this room that you bombed open, and change your equips to package the seeds and the bracelet. So this is where the Poe skip actually starts happening. Let me make a separate save file for this. So, this is the trick. You want to move adequately through this room across the left side so you can enter the stairs before all the torches go out. And you need to use your seeds for that. So coming in, you will get this text box again. And you want to push the first roller off and pause so you can equip the feather. Hold up, jump over, and again do a pause. This is gonna be a little bit late, yeah. So especially those pauses can be really helpful for your first Poe skip attempts. Because if you pause when a torch goes out, you get a few extra frames to work with. Especially on that one and on that torch, it's really useful to have it. You can also switch back to package seeds if you have them, otherwise don't bother. So you want to keep your movement really tight, especially along this corner. And make sure you don't get stuck on the stairs, because that will slow you down. And this is what happens if you get caught up. If you need more hearts, you can always grab more, but you have to leave the dungeon first, because hearts don't respawn until you change floors or leave the dungeon and go back. So that's Poe skip basically. Let me do it one more time. Especially those pauses can be the best thing ever. Once you roll the roller, you can pause, change your equips. If you have seeds left, why didn't it pause actually? Oh well, you want to make sure. I'm not sure why it didn't pause there. So, what if you cannot do Poe skip or don't want to risk it in your run and actually kill that? Wow, kill that stuff. You have to open this door. I go along the path. Wow, that's nice. Then you come up here, you can equip your seed shooter and a sword and light those 2 torches to spawn the Poe that you would normally skip, the sword Poe. 2 spin slashes, kill him, and that makes sure this room is cleared from any curses that the ghost had. So the torches do not go out anymore and you can just move along. Like doing the right side so you don't have to go through the spikes. Alright, so entering here, if you have seeds left over you can use seeds. If you don't, you can spawn this and get through him. If you want to, you can lose a lot of health doing that, so it might be wise to just exit from this top area and just move along the outside. Especially with a seed, you barely lose any time. Hit the button and jump down. Want to push the trampoline down a little bit and jump on it. Hold down left and left at the end so you can land on this button and jump down again. Again, use your seed here if you still have them and move along. You want to equip your boomerang and sword because boomerang is used to kill all these Armo statues easily and freeze them into place. So what you see here is that these Armo statues come to life except for one, and that's that one in this case. It's RNG which statue is the passive one that you can push around to pack seeds. So what you want to do is you want to touch every one of them, and if they don't start to blink, then you know you got the correct statue. And what you want to do is you want to push the statue onto the button. Simple as that. And go down. Again, with the boomerang you can freeze him. Note that these two pots in the middle, wow, all these seeds, always contain packets of seeds, so that's gonna be your refill. There's a ton of refills in this dungeon. You can also use the boomerang to kill that mimic as just showed. And then go up this way. Make sure to jump because the floor moves you backward. So once you get over here, you want to make the platform, so hold down. And you can jump over everything and make it up here. Once you get over here, you can, and again, grab your cactus seeds. Jump over the corners and go over to this left side where there is a small puzzle. Make sure you memorize this button sequence. You want to push the inner buttons first, left and down, and then the outer buttons. And that spawns a key. So let me make another save state here. So you grab this key, you move on, then you get to this little area where you can do nice trick jumps over here. Where you want to actually jump diagonally for the first one and straight for the second one. And that's what happens if you don't jump diagonally at the start, because jump mechanics work pretty strangely in that you can only change direction halfway through your jump. So you want to make sure you move diagonally before you jump. In another way, you can also do a select buffer if you prefer that. Actually, I moved a little bit too far. Select buffer and buffer the downright jump, which doesn't seem to work actually for my case, but I've seen people do it and it seems to work pretty consistently for them. So, once you get over here, you use your seat and grab the key, move along, do your jumps, and move over to this side, where you get to this magnet room. This magnet room is pretty atrocious. You want to make sure you kill everything, and they start moving away from you once you get close to them. But they won't move away and when they are turning and shooting at you, so that's also a nice point where you can grab them. So you want to try to corner them. This top left corner over here is pretty nice. The top right corner is not so nice because you have to do a jump slash in order to hit them. And it's really tough to time that, so make sure when you enter the room that you pick out one or two and get them stuck in a corner. Like over there, I'm gonna push him to the top left, or if he turns, I can just move in and do a spin slash to kill him. They require 2 hits to kill, so make sure you do your spin slash. And that's an example of a jump spin slash that you can do. So doing that spawns this nice trampoline. You want to push it up 3 times and jump on top of it. Here you can do a nice jump. It's pretty tight though, so make sure you know how to do it, otherwise you're just gonna fall down again and have to push the trampoline back up again. Then you find this magnet ball where you can use your magnet gloves and the boomerang again, because this room is adjacent to the Armo statue room. So grab the key and you're back into this Armo statue room. So you want to again find the statue. This time I got lucky, it was the first statue I touched. I like to actually hit those 2 first and then go around. Some people like to hit those 2 first and then go around this side. It's personal preference. Sometimes it works out for you, sometimes it doesn't. And again, push it into place. If those moblins are still in your way, you can hit the boomerang again and then switch to swords and pegasus seeds. Your sword can be used to grab these seeds again because they respawn. Then depending on what you want to do, you can keep your seeds equipped and use the seed shooter. Or keep the sword equipped and save this inventory. It doesn't really matter because the seeds satchel has this extra sub-menu as you may have noticed before. If you're out of ember seeds, these bushes generally have ember seeds. If they don't, you can just leave and come back. In order for them to respawn quickly, you can try again. So as you saw with that Poe, it leaves a fire trail, so again 2 spin dashes to kill it, and move along. Go to the left side now, where there's a similar torch room. So normally the torches would go out in this room also, but you beat the Poe this time, so you don't have to. Then you get down here, let me make another save state. Because there's a pretty tricky room up ahead, and that is this room. The casual way is to actually hit that switch, so the magnet starts turning and you can just magnet glove across. But we don't have time for that. You can actually do that, some people prefer to do that, so in order to not do the tricky jumps that you have to do, so you can just do that and move along the wall. Make sure you're low enough, and I like to hit the left wall for that, so you don't get knocked back up a boomerang that's gonna be in your way hopefully, but I'm having a lot of trouble with it, doing it again. Since I don't do this often, so yeah. Oh wow, they're stuck. Oh well. So, let me make that save state. So you come over here and you use your seed, and grab your feather and magnet glove. Do this jump, pretty tight, so make sure. And you want to jump diagonally and hook on to that magnet over there. You also have to watch out when your seed runs out, so you can usually have 1 or 2 attempts at this first jump in order to make it. If you fail the first time, you can still continue. And this is probably not gonna make it. It was gonna make it, but I was just impatient. So yeah, you get 2 to 3 jumps, it seems like. Again, this diagonal jump. These pits are really atrocious. They can easily suck you in, so you want to be careful with that. Only change your directions when you need to. So again, you want to do hook on to this one, and then you can easily slide back to this trampoline platform. There's also a different way which doesn't involve hooking on to the magnets at all, which is either using the magnet glove or the seed shooter with sand seeds in order to kill these dark nuts. So you can shoot them in the pit. And let me grab the sword for this actually. And it spawns a bridge. So when it spawns the bridge, you can actually make it to this side and you can do a jump over here to get over to the platforms with the trampoline, depending on your preference. The fastest way is of course to just take the path through the magnet glove, since it doesn't involve having to kill any of the enemies. Oh wow, I missed it. So like that. Oh wow, I forgot. So yeah, then you get over here. You have 2 trampolines, the red trampoline and the blue trampoline. You want to jump on the blue one. Why did I want to say green? I have no clue. And equip your seeds and your sword so you can kill them. You don't drop the seed. So, here we have another 3 gap jump. And it's a horizontal one. I find horizontal 3 gap to be way harder than vertical ones. Especially this one, since you cannot really line up on the dividing line between pits, you have to just go for it. So there are several 2 ways you can approach this. One way is to do some buffers, which is you want to clink your sword and slowly approach the pit, and then equip your feather and buffer out a jump so you can get across. It's pretty consistent if you know where to look for, so you want to look at I find it easier when I'm not seated actually, so you can actually see Link's bottom right foot. You can see the bottom pixels slowly edging through, and once you cannot see any pixels between them anymore, between the pit and the foot, you know you're in the right position, so you can use a seat, switch out, and jump across. Oh wait, got to jump back. Oh well. So, you can also do this unbuffered and just go for it, which is pretty tight. I'm actually make a save state like this, so I can easily keep trying. Wow, that was really bad. I think going across the top is easier, so it simulates being close to the dividing line. Like that. So, once you get over there, let me try it one more time. You go up here, you can do a nice double jump if you want to. It's pretty easy once you enter. So you jump straight away, you land on that platform. I died. Wow, I'm gonna have to do a buffered one. Especially with a seed, you cannot really see those pixels, so you have to kind of guess that you are on the right pixel. So once you come in, you jump, do a double jump, and pick up your cape, your rock cape. You can also do a 3-cap jump in the middle here, if you prefer that, if you don't want to stand on the platform. And after that, you can jump down here. Use a seed and jump across the pit's back, and use your final or second to final key here. If you did post skip right, you should have 1 key left, and otherwise you have 0. So make sure you use your seeds to go through this long section. You can either wait for your seed to run out here to get a seed to kill those mortals with, or just go with it. I like to sometimes just use a seed, because if you kill them fast, it helps. And watch out, you don't want to fall down the holes. So, killing those mortals opens this door and leads you to this room with a button. Sometimes you can keep that seed, so you can make this first jump easily, so you don't have to switch back to the seeds. And again, those 2 pots have Pegasus seeds, so you can grab them. Especially that one is pretty easy to grab, since you can switch to the sword and you need this equipped later. But you can also try and go for a seedless jump, like over there, or like that. If your movement is tight enough, you want to make sure you jump at the edge, pretty close. And make sure you land on this top corner. Make sure you don't land too low, otherwise you're not gonna make it. You can land pretty high on the platform. As you can see, I can still stand here without falling in the top pit. So you want to make sure your horizontal distance is okay. It's pretty counterintuitive to land on top of here instead of trying to land on the middle, but it's something you're gonna have to get used to. And again, you can jump back like that again. You can either try to line up on the dividing line on this picture, or just go for it. If you fall down, you come back up here, so it's not that bad. I lost a ton of health because of that, actually. Oh well. So, in here it's time for the Miniboss fight, where you have to fight the 2 Poes again. Except this time they have a curse on this room, and they will blow out the torches. So first off, you want to start off with a spin slash and try to get those hits in at the start. If you hit them, they don't blow out your torch, and they despawn. It's generally easy to try to guard 2 torches, especially these 2 since they are right at the entrance. So you want to stay close to these 2 torches. Wow, very. You want to stay close to these 2 torches and make sure they don't go out, and guard them with your life, I guess. Because if they go out, they spawn you back at the entrance and you have to go all over again. And in the case you did post skip, that's awful because you have to do post skip again. And again, they alternate between attack phases, so first they try to blow out the torch, then they attack you, then they blow out the torch, etc. And again, use spin slashes to deal double damage, which is really convenient. So once more. You actually notice that this RNG is always the same because that's how RNG works. I haven't changed the variables. Let me actually change it so they spawn somewhere else. Now you see the other one spawns on the right side and it darkens the room a bit. Generally like to target both of them at the same time, so once you get a hit in, they despawn immediately, so you cannot really chain hits in except for their attacking phases. And again, keep one torch alive at all costs, because if you don't, I'm gonna show you, I guess. If you aren't in time, like you flash them too late, they will blow out all the torches. And you will spawn back at the entrance, which is bad. So, make sure you guard those 2 torches with your life. And hit the Poes before they actually get a blow in, I guess. And that's the fight. Again, Ember Seeds if you need them, probably you won't. So don't bother too much. I need that fairy actually, that's really nice. You can also skip this fairy and grab a fairy later on, and I will point it out also. So, next up is this stair maze. Make sure you memorize the way you want to go. Basically the first staircase is below, then you want to go all the way right. Here you can also use some Pegasus seeds. Why did I say Ember Seeds? You can use some Pegasus seeds, especially in this room and in the next ones. But if you didn't grab this fairy and you are low on health, this is a fairy, and I believe this is a fairy also, and this is not a fairy. So you can use your seeds here. Generally these are extra seeds that you want to use, because after you leave the dungeon you will have a lot of seeds left over. So you can grab a lot, you can use a lot of extra seeds here. I wanted to make a save state, but I failed. Pressed the wrong button. There we go. So this is also the part where if you did post skip, and in this file, and in this run I did actually, so you want to immediately use speed, do a nice jump here. I don't know why that button combination doesn't work. And then switch out to the magnet glove, and you can attach to this magnet block over here. Little nice convenience, you can actually jump straight off that magnet block. Similar to Dungeon 5, I guess. In Dungeon 5 there were these magnet blocks where you could pit walk quite a few pits. And in this case it's pretty similar. Why can I not jump? That's awkward as hell. Even without a seat you can make it to that block. Again, you can move a little bit, pretty lenient, so don't worry too much about not making the jump. You want to, I believe this bottom one works also, yeah. So you want to hook off that magnet block and jump on to this platform and move across. Then you come into this room where you want to kill every enemy. Ooh, I got a wish rope actually. You can knock them in the pits, you can spin slash them, everything works. Everything is a 1-hit KO with a spin slash. The wrist ropes actually take 2 hits, I believe. And I'm not sure about the selfies actually, so I'm gonna have to leave that answer open. So once you come back from this room, you can grab your seeds. And you can actually make this jump if you're fast enough. And then you can push this block up to return back to the normal path and move along. And open that door. I shouldn't have opened that door actually, oh well. So another peculiar thing that I don't know the seed timing for in the non-post skip route, but I do know the timing for the post skip route, is after you go down from the stairs, you can actually keep your seed in your pocket for a little bit and use it when you are around here on these 3 tiles. it really helps because it makes a jump really easy, and that's those 3 statues. Make sure you jump over here, you can do a single jump over there. Because you have this seed running, you can actually make this jump to the first statue, I guess. The one with 1 statue next to it. And it runs out when you land, so you can make an easy jump back to the second statue. If you don't have that and you actually have a seed, you can do a single jump and actually make it. And the same for this one. Just do a jump without direction and then jump forward or backward. So do it like that. And make sure you are close enough to the pit and not standing right all the way over here. Because otherwise you're just not gonna make it. Like that. And then jump over, because then the jumping platform has spawns. You can hit this button and move along. I want to jump on this red trampoline and just hold right. If you just hold right, you make it onto this platform without having to go through the staircase and stuff. Then you have this puzzle room. You can use the seat here if you prefer. And equip your sword. You want to hit these 2 red, so only hit the bottom one. Then jump to the other side and hit both of them. So this one is blue and the bottom one is red. So that opens the door. Come in with your spin slash charge and kill all the Stelphos. Note that there are some darker colored Stelphos. Or skeletons, I guess they aren't Stelphos. These only take 1 hit, so you can actually stab them. Stabbing them doesn't give you the double damage, but in this case they actually die. Then there are those brighter colored Stelphos, they need a spin slash or 2 hit. So once you've done that, you've got the nightmare key, the boss key, and you can go back to the entrance and use the warp, because you have beaten the mini-boss, and move along. Again, do the same path until you get to the pot room, where those fairies are. If you are low on health, grab a fairy, and go through the top stairs again, but instead of going up this time, you go down. And then you follow your way to the nightmare, the boss room. I should have made a save state. Let me make a save state here. I guess that worked. So once you come in, you want to jump and charge your swords at the same time. And you want to hit these heads of the boss at the same time, preferably with your spin slash. So you can deal double damage to both of them while dodging the sword. So once you have done that, the bone skeleton just transforms into his second phase, where he jumps up and he stuns you, or at least tries to stun you. You can avoid it by jumping, and you want to just get some hits in on him. I think it's 10 hits to actually beat him, and that's the fight. So what's especially mindful about this fight, you want to avoid damage, especially in the first phase. You can avoid the fires by jumping over them. And especially you want to avoid contact with the head, because contact deals 1 heart of damage. So you don't want to get all caught up in his body or his head, because that's gonna get you killed really quickly. So make sure you keep your distance and get your spin slashes off. Move away when you are charging your sword so you don't get caught up or accidentally touch one of the heads. If it's done, then it's done. You can start slashing. If you're fast enough, you can actually take this hit and just finish him off before he gets the second stomp in. If not, you have to be careful with that second stomp and make sure you jump. You can make it with a single jump, but it's pretty tight, so I advise to just use a cape jump to dodge. Just wait for them to come close together and get a hit in. I was a bit too close to the body there. That attack is really annoying, it really blocks you off. After you have 1 left, you can just focus him down. And that's it. That's the boss fight. Grab your heart container and move on to the trophy room, the essence room. Jump over the stairs, get the cherries. So yeah, this dungeon is pretty hard, especially if you try post skip. You don't want to die. in the first half of the dungeon if you actually die before the mini boss fight, because then you have to do Poe skip again, and it's really annoying. So make sure you keep that in mind. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to watch the other episodes, and have a nice day.